it's about that time. We decided we were going to do something a little bit different today, add some different elements to what we already do. It's going down, man. Trying to figure out ways to break the algorithm. Man. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe to all our channels, all our different platforms. Boss Talk 101, Boss Talk 101 Primetime. It's crazy. We got to get it done, though. Boss Talk 101, what the boss is talking.
What's good? What's good? What's good this morning? Beautiful people. It's your main man, Big G. And, yeah. We're here this morning. Definitely locked in. Blessed, nonetheless. Not stressed. Definitely blessed. On this beautiful Thursday morning, August 12th, 2026, here in the great state of Mississippi. It is 3 after 7 here, Central Standard Time, and welcome to Primetime, Rise and Grind. Yes, welcome. How's your morning? How are things, excuse me, going with you this morning? One moment. And to cough like that and not take a swig of the limeade, the lemon lime water, and ginger. Give you a little bit of that side profile. Anyway, welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get into it. Here for a short time, not a long time. So before I even go down the rabbit hole today, because today's conversation for this morning, I don't want to get too bogged down into the craziness, right? So the first thing we're going to do this morning, we're going to hit you with the educational side note for today. We're going to hit you with that first. Yeah, we're going to hit you with a little education first. You know, we've changed our language for the week. We are getting it in with a new language. The last couple of weeks we've been focused on Spanish, the phonetics, alphabet, nouns, pronouns, subject matter, days of the week, months, year, how to tell time, a few sight words. So yes, we definitely need to get into our bag and go back and study. Once you've studied, you know, retain it, this writing, practice this speaking with individuals that are Spanish speaking, Latinos, Puerto Ricans, blacks, Blexicans, or black Mexicans, not to say that that's an ethnicity, but in the world of Negro Damas and Ebonics, they got Blexicans in this motherfucker. So, y'all know what I mean, man. Folks that speak Espanol. Tap in, man. Go study, go practice, go get ready, go get right. Because we're going to keep on bringing it to you like this, man. High and tight, high and tight. High and tight. And we ain't talking about your crew cut for the military. No. We talking about we bringing it to you like fast and furious around this mug. Because we want you to actually gain some knowledge and some insight when you walk away from us at the end of the day. Today's talk topic in the conversation, because we're only here for a brief. We're only here for a moment. Today's theme, we're talking about what we're facing and why we're even facing it. Because I got to ask myself the question. What we're facing when everybody on the scene wants to be a gangster. Everybody. In this day and age. And I can't even say that they want to be true to form gangsters, because gangsters live by a code. And we're not talking about Crips, Bloods, Keystone, Simon City Raw. No, we're not talking Vice Lord, Blood, nothing. We're not talking about anything like that. I'm talking about your mentality and your lifestyle and the way that you carry yourself. We're facing a time and an era when everyone wants to be a gangster. But nobody wants to live by the code of a real gangster. I'm not promoting or condoning street activity. No. I'm just giving you hyperbole as it relates to a universal conversation that's sweeping the nation as it relates to how people carry themselves. Because the mantra is, nigga, I'm a gangster. Man, that's some gangster shit. Boy, look here, fucks with you, boy. Hey, Huh? Okay. But not realizing also what they're doing to the construct and mentality of those that are watching behind them. To each his own. I promise you, I'm not the one to sit here and try to tell you what to do, how to do, when to do, why to do. When I was coming up as a kid, I didn't aspire to be a gangster. I didn't. I didn't. I didn't watch Scarface and get excited like, ooh, yeah, that's. I didn't watch um, Al Capone or hear stories about Al Capone and the mob and be like, ooh, I want to go eat linguine and be a part of Cosa Nostra or La Familia. No, I didn't. No. Because to me, the television gangster has always been make believe. There was nothing real about it. You couldn't even learn anything about how to live your life through watching these shows on television, gangster ass shows, because it was fake. There was nothing true about it. And if you tried or attempted to put that type of persona into your lifestyle from a television character, 9 times out of 10, moving around in the street that way, you're going to get your taco meat displaced from your taco. You definitely must be running for an elected position. Because you're going to get elected. You will be the subject of conversation. And that's not me talking reckless. That's just me talking. Telling you what I observed coming up as a kid. That wasn't our thing. We didn't aspire to be or do anything along those lines. You see, when image becomes more important than character, then we have a problem. Because, it's all about a look. It has nothing to do with who you are internally as a person. Now, are revolutionists real? Yes. Militia? Real? Yes. The mafia? Real? Yes. Peace Stone? Gangsters? Real? Yes. Crips? Bloods? Real? Yes. And I know some of the leaders of some of these organizations or high ranking officials in some of these organizations. And after doing years of time, I ain't talking about, a couple days, in any time behind bars, incarcerated, locked away, your freedom stripped. Anytime you get put into those types of situations, it's not just hard for you, it's hard for your family, and there's a detachment and a displacement. And if that's the road you choose because you're putting on face or acting as though you a gangster. Now, I'm not speaking about white homes. I'm not speaking about Vietnamese homes. I'm not speaking about Chinese homes. Now, let me go back to, and because I don't want y'all to think that I'm um, prejudiced, because I'm damn sure not. You gotta have power and control You gotta have the ability to change the whole status and the whole construct of someone's living condition, an entire race, by what you think and by what you do. That's the racist. That's the power that a racist has. A bunch of y'all just prejudiced. Y'all just talking hateful speech. Because you damn sure don't have the power to impact or affect change on anyone's life. Not even your own. So let's get some guidelines straight as we move forward, talking about, you know, black, white, yellow, you know. Because people get offended when you talk about that kind of, I ain't black. Well, what are you? What are you? Stolen and sold, have no true identity. And for the ones that have done research and have found out about the inhabitants that were here in the Americas prior to black people, indigenous people, aboriginal people, the Indian, the Chickasaw, the Cherokee, Blackfoot, Seminole. All of these types of individuals that were already here, but yet, okay, the Spaniards, the Europeans, colonizers, right? Oh yeah, well, we didn't discover some shit. I ain't discovered a goddamn thing. Amerigo Vespucci didn't even discover some shit. Christopher Columbus definitely didn't discover no shit. How can you discover something that was already inhabited? Y'all done crept up on some shit that y'all didn't realize. But I'm not going down that rabbit hole either with you, because that's documented his story. And people want you to believe that bullshit. They want you to believe that the whole entire African experience or black experience was nothing but racism, lynching, hanging, and slavery. Yes, did it happen? Of course it did. Of course it did. We know it happened. But everyone in America aren't descendants of slaves. And those that are some of the strongest individuals, mentally and physically, because of what your ancestors had to endure. What do you mean by that, G? Okay. I'll give you a real simple explanation. If you're a mother and you smoke crack during the pregnancy, during the birth, during the process, during that 8 to 9 month process prior to, and 9 times out of 10, if you on that shit, you might not carry it full term, or it's going to be premature. And I'm not saying that's the only reason why you have a premature baby. I'm saying that those are some of the possibilities and risk factors. So don't look at me and talk to me and say, oh man, gee, what did you talk about? I'm talking about shit that happens when mothers get out here and subject their child, their unborn child, to non-conventional, non-recreational, non-medicinal shit like crack, or coke, or heroin, PCP. What happens is, you know how a baby is fed, sitting in the womb. That's the mother, straight from the mother. the fluid, that amniotic fluid that flows through that child. So as you're changing the whole construct of your DNA, smoking on that glass dick, keep it real. Your straight shooter, your piece of aluminum foil, or your Coke can with some holes in it. Oh, y'all sitting there thinking that I'm just Ivy League, right? No, nigga, I know where I'm from. And this ain't television. This ain't motherfuckers just watching TV. This is watching motherfucking junkies in the street goddamn freebasing. Bay St. Louis used to be that type of town. Every city got action. There's no city in America that don't got action. But that's not what we're talking about today. We're talking about why everybody wants to be a gangster. But what I was making reference to is that eventually, as that kid is born, or if born, or the possibility of making it through a premature situation, automatically, there's a precondition already set upon that kid. Yeah, got cocaine running through his veins. Never stuff. You understand? But that drug is running through that child's veins. And if so happen, it's in his DNA. He's been smoking it and ingesting it, or she's been smoking it and ingesting it, and been feeding that baby that bullshit. Malnutrition, all kinds of stuff. 9 times out of 10, that baby, if in fact he decides or she decides one day, man, let me take me a bump. Let me check out this thing that they call booger sugar. That child is more susceptible to becoming an addict and hooked on phonics than 99.99999% of the kids that are born in a condition not like theirs. But everybody won't be a gangster though, man. That's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm hearing. But before we get off into it, before we dig off into it, I'm gonna give you this educational sidebar and this educational note for today, because y'all gonna learn this shit with me. I'm not gonna be the only person learning. Y'all gonna learn this with me, man. Yeah. We're gonna learn something. We learn Spanish. We've been learning Spanish. This week, we've been focusing on Samoan. The Samoan language is what we've been focusing on this week. If you've been missing out, go back, watch some of our older sessions, and just pick up. So Samoan, made easy today, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we're getting into. We're going to have fun with it. I want you guys to enjoy, and then we'll get back to our gangsta-ass conversation. All right? Yes, indeed.
The Pronunciation Guide at Samoan Made Easy. Before we move on, here's some fun facts. The writing system was formalized in 1800s by the London Missionary Society. Also, there is a formal written language where we use T's, R's, and N's, and an informal everyday language where we use K's over T's, L's over R's, and G's over N's. Now, onto the alphabet. There are 17 letters in the alphabet, and the first 14 are A, E, I, O, U, Fa, Nga, La, Mo, Nu, Pi, Sa, Ti, Vi. And the last 3, He, Ka, Ro, were later borrowed to Samoanize some words. Now, onto the vowels. A is pronounced like A in father. Alofa, alofa. E is pronounced like in bed. Ele ele, ele ele. E is pronounced like in sea. Ipu, ipu. O is pronounced like in bowl. Oka, not oka, oka. U is pronounced like in boot. Ulu, ulu. A quick note about short and long vowels. The 5 vowels are pronounced with either a long or short duration, effectively creating 10 vowel sounds. For example, tama is short and tama is long. More on vowels. When you see vowels together without a break, glide them together, even if they're not in the same word. For example,
Wow, may I fight out?
second, pronounce every vowel. Third, every consonant must be followed by a vowel. For example, lole, lele, fitalai. And lastly, every word ends with a vowel. Consonants. Consonants are pretty easy. They are pronounced similar to English, with one exception to that rule. G is pronounced like ng in singer, ngata, ngata. T is often replaced with K in the everyday language, tupe and kupe. R is often replaced with L, rapiti and lapiki. N is often replaced with G, nifo and ngifo. And finally, no two consonants can occur side by side. The glottal stop, aka the break. It sounds like the pause between syllables of uh-oh. For example, ooh, ah, and eh. The glottal stop is given the full weight of a consonant. So treat it like a consonant, because leaving it out can change the meaning of the word. For example, ulu is breadfruit. Ulu is head. Let me say that again. Ulu is breadfruit, and ulu is head. Thanks for watching, and make sure to subscribe at Someone Made Easy.
All right. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Let's get into it. Ulu and ulu. Make sure y'all say it right. Make sure you say it right. Ulu and ulu. Head or sourdough bread or papaya. I forgot what it was. I'll go back and remember. But ulu and ulu. I know what head is. Oh. Y'all see my hair? I just cut it yesterday. Go back and watch the video. I told you if I cut my hair in less than 5 minutes, I'll have a full head of hair again. I gotta go cut this shit again. Look at some of these comments. LOL, real talk. None of them who, okay, that's my man Gregory, Dr. Gregory Babino. You gotta teach black history prior to 1609, 1503, hence the Bible, and before that. Very true, very true. I created and taught black history in the community because there are outcomes in our youth because they don't have context of self, black self, knowledge of self, mind, body, and spirit. Yeah, I agree with you, G. It's so true. We've seen it. We've seen it. But like I was saying though, when I come up, when I was raised, people wanted to be something. They wanted to be something. And we didn't have the stigma or the dogma of not wanting to be involved with law enforcement or the fire department or EMS, emergency medical services, civil servants, because we saw black empowerment. I saw as a kid, think about how long ago this was. Chief Williams, to my knowledge, he was one of the first black police chiefs in the state of Mississippi during a time when racism was high. I'm talking about seeding. I'm talking about the Klan walking around. Not to say, see, there's a misconception because people outside of the state of Mississippi that didn't see that as youngsters coming up during our era didn't realize that the Klan stopped marching and walking in the streets because they was getting their ass beat, bottles thrown at them, hit across the side of their motherfucking head with axe handles. We wasn't going for that shit in Mississippi. That's why that shit stopped. You can march in peace if you want to, but you got to understand if you're coming with hatred, if you're coming with vitriol, if you're coming with malice, if you're coming at my person, I'm in no position to acknowledge the fact that you're moving around carrying crosses, burning and hanging and lynching folks, and it's cool. No, we gonna knock the top out your motherfucking head. The fear was not ever there. To sit there and watch a family member get beaten, burned, hanged, drugged through the street, and law enforcement does nothing about it? Yeah, hold on a second. Black folks didn't stand for that shit for too long, man. I don't know why y'all think that that's how it was. Yeah, we hear about Emmett Till, but you'll never hear about none of them goddamn crackers being hung from a tree, did you? Or beat to a motherfucking pulp. Decapitated. Quartered. No, they don't put that part of the history into it. Because they make it seem as though everybody just laid there and took it. Nah, if that was the case, you wouldn't have no niggas in the state of Mississippi. Think about it. Alabama, Louisiana, you wouldn't have them. How? If you're eradicating and enslaving if you are sitting there talking about, hey, you know, we believe in segregation, man, we ain't give a damn. What makes you think, see, television and movies fuck y'all heads up. In black communities, we've seen white-only situations. We've seen this water fountain is for white folks. In the churches, in the schools, maybe not youngsters of this age in general, but I'm talking about my age. Seen that. But guess what? As a child, you are oblivious to what it really means. Because you didn't go outside of your family circle anyway. We weren't walking up the street to go sit down at some white folks' place and partake of their pie. Why would I want some nasty ass fucking pie and some goddamn unseasoned food when my grandma and my mama and my people, shit, they throw down? I don't want that nasty ass shit. I'm eating here at the house. I'm going to auntie house. I'm going to, come on, man. We didn't see it. And we damn sure didn't tolerate disrespect as it relates to who you are in the community and you trying to come around here trying to tell us what to do. I'm telling you, Chief Douglas was the first, one of the first, look him up, black police chiefs in the state of Mississippi, based in St. Louis, Mississippi. Chief Douglas Williams. So we didn't see that. We saw black officers like Chops and others walking around with sidearms. You know, Brother Dorsey. You know, Mr. Lewis. Chops, rest in peace. Ernest Taylor. We saw black law enforcement. And this wasn't the law enforcement that, you know, they tried to kick you in the ass and try to hold their foot on your neck. No, this was community. It's a big difference. Now, as time goes on, you had those goddamn boot-licking ass, you know, cock-sucking motherfucking black police officers that get in there and trying to appeal and appease to massa. Yeah, you definitely had some of those that came along. But like Monkey's husband, well, her boyfriend, my partner JT Tillman, and their family. Miss Monkey used to date a cop, private investigator. Yeah, one of the nicest guys in the community. But we sit there and we act as though, you know, we can't take on those positions. But we had our own people patrolling and securing our own people in the Third Ward, in the Magnolia. Now, I'm not from New Orleans, but it was the Magnolia. Sycamore Street, Washington Street ran parallel from the beach to the highway, Highway 90 in Bay St. Louis. Man, come on, man. It went down. The only town, Third Ward, because we were self-contained, that had a nightclub on every corner. A corner store on every corner. The Italians had Battalis and some other surrounding areas because that's where we would go to get our shit. Either A&P or, I forget the other name of it. It was A&P back in the day. Jitney Jungle. Goddamn. It transferred into Jitney Jungle. It was a TG&Y. Some people don't even remember how far back it goes. We used to go to that motherfucker and get your shoes, get your school clothes, everything. We didn't have those problems because we didn't recognize it as kids coming up. Let me just say that. But there again, racism in Mississippi died so long. I mean, not died. I won't say died. The acts of Emmett Till type racism and doing those types of things. And you have to remember, a white woman, oh sorry, stanky, dirty foot white bitch, lied on Emmett Till. You have to remember that part of the story. And a mob went and killed that young man. Right? And we're talking about, you know, nothing has changed. Oh, it has changed. You see? Because white and black relations in the South aren't what you think they are. Folks get along well. Nolan Wells is a perfect example of that. And of course, yeah, gee, you see? That's what we're talking about. What happened to that young man? I don't know yet. And I'm not going to sit there and give you an opinion on something that I don't have all the facts. Yes, a young man is dead. But he was with his friends. And y'all make it seem as though these folks were not friends for this wasn't new. This wasn't a newfound relationship between these guys. That's who he hung around. You guys make it seem like it's odd for a black person to hang around with a bunch of white folks. We have that in our culture. Some people are raised that way. They have no worries about, hey, going hanging out with my partners. They don't see the color. Now, you got white folks that do see color. You got black folks that do see color in terms of separation, the divide. But these were his friends from football, from high school, the whole nine. So was there something that took place that was an accident and these kids got scared? Was there a fight that took place and things went awry? Or did everyone on Horn Island just all of a sudden become complicit and an accomplice to murder? Now, I'm not here trying to give anybody a pass. I need real information because the Wells family are the ones that are suffering at this point. And you hear a whole bunch of stuff coming out about what's going on in Mississippi, and these motherfuckers ain't even from Mississippi. Do I trust the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation to do the job? No. Do I trust law enforcement down on the coast to not cover up? No, don't trust them. That's why you do extensive investigation, follow up, and to find out what's really going on. Because if your mother is a judge, your stepmother, whoever the case may be, is a judge, and she has to recuse herself from participating in the investigation, you can best believe that if you're a judge, you know the lawyer, you know the DA, you know the investigators, you know the officers in that community that are investigating the situation. And they are definitely making it known that they are protecting their own. You see? So, yeah, I wouldn't have called a Ben Crump. No. But hey, if they come and they want to sit there and hoop and holler, that's on them. You know, I'm not really big on the ambulance chasers. If they want to call Al Sharpton snitching ass, you know, oh well. Oh, y'all mad at me for saying Al was a snitch? No, Al stated he was working for the FBI as an undercover informant. This is documented information. This ain't some shit that I'm just making up. Because he wanted to quote unquote clean up the streets, right? But this nigga was out there doing dirt him damn self. Y'all forget Al Sharpton was a fucking pimp back in the day. With the velour jumpsuits, the motherfucking perm. He was 400 motherfucking pounds. He ain't the little skinny bobblehead nigga that you see now. And I'm not saying he hadn't done some positive stuff as it relates to, you know, policy, implementation. I don't know what it is, but he's not a congressman or something. He's a lobbyist, or he's a plant, because from the time Jesse Jackson died, Martin Luther King died, you know what? His goddamn notoriety and shot through the roof. Does he know what he's talking about? Of course. He took years to sit there and goddamn practice his goddamn motherfucking diatribe. Yeah, he knows. He knows what moves the needle. He knows what moves the people. But that doesn't make him my leader. That just makes him a nigga that talk for black folks, and actually black folks actually allow him to talk for them. That don't mean that you're the leader. And I'm not trying to give you the spirit shit. I'm not trying to, it's God. That ain't what we're talking about. I'm a believer, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about human beings right now and the fucked up shit that we allow to happen in the world because we want to be gangsters. But we ain't out here doing no gangster shit. You want me to show you some gangster shit? My partner, Dr. Gregory Barabino, he's in here right now. He's on this thing right now. Watch this young man. We graduated the same year, coming out of high school. But I watched him all of his life. From high school, well, elementary, through high school, middle school, all that kind of good stuff. Go off to college. Do your thing in college. Come back, married, kid. Watch the kid go through college. You know what I'm saying? And being in their lives, through high school, making the sacrifices. And I sit there and have opportunity to watch my friend watch his daughter walk across a stage at LSU for graduation. That's gangster to me. That's gangster. I've had friends that have killed pastors, reverends. Yeah. Yeah. When we were young. Then they had to go sit down for half of his life. My man Gino Tillman. Yeah, he's definitely in the game. But that don't make you gangster, though. Remorse. All the things that come with, hey man, I made a mistake. That don't make you a gangster, no. No, it makes you a killer. Yeah. And as we deem in society, if you're caught killing someone, you're going to go sit down. Now you're a slave. I've been rambling. And I didn't even get into what I want to talk to y'all about. We're going to hit it. This morning we're getting into something that is affecting our communities, our music, our young people, our families, and even the way grown folks carry themselves. Why does everybody want to be a gangster? Everybody wants to look hard. Everybody wants to be feared. Everybody wants to prove they ain't the one to play with. But somewhere along the way, we started confusing strength with intimidation, respect with fear, and leadership with aggression. Being dangerous doesn't make you powerful. It just makes you dangerous, incompetent, irresponsible, emotionally detached, because your quick response is murder, death, kill. Being respected because people know your character. Now that's power. Taking care of your family. That's gangster. Building a business. Yeah, that's gangster. Walking away from foolishness when you have everything to lose. Yeah, that's gangster. Keeping your word. Now that's some gangster shit. Teaching your child how to become better than you. You see, a lot of y'all don't want that. I definitely want my kids better than me. Yeah, that's some gangster shit. We have to stop romanticizing destruction and destructive behavior and start celebrating discipline. Because if everybody wants to be the toughest person in the room, who's going to be the wise one to lead? That's where we're going. That's where we're headed this morning. So let's talk about it, man. Let's get off into it. We ain't got that much more time. But I do have some things that I want to put on your mind as you go through the day. Why has being feared become confused with being respected? Social media often rewards outrageous behavior. Entertainment can influence culture, but culture also influences entertainment. Don't get it twisted. There's a difference between portraying an image and living destructive behavior. And we got a bunch of crash dummies out there. And you got niggas that are sitting on the sidelines putting those batteries in their back and just sending them out there. Young people often imitate what appears successful. What appears successful. We celebrate the outcome without showing the consequences. No. We definitely don't show the consequences. And what do you mean by that, G? The consequences of doing dumb shit. Being a free radical. I'm not talking about the free radicals that you need in your body. I'm talking about being out there doing crash dummy shit. And ending up in prison. Because you didn't realize the consequences. Or, as they say, judged by 12 and carried by 6. It's your choice. Real strength includes emotional control. A reputation for violence, that definitely can close opportunities. Respect built through fear disappears when the fear disappears. Right. I don't feel you no more. I don't respect you. Character lasts longer than image. Being responsible is not weakness. Providing for your family is strength. Discipline is strength. Walking away can require more courage than fighting. And fighting is taking it to a whole different level. You're not fighting anymore these days. You know, and even though we're talking about, hey man, put the guns down, put the gloves up. Shit. Once a motherfucker dog walk your ass, you ain't thinking about, oh man, put the gloves down. I'm going to get this gun and put this fire in your ass. You see, so keep your hands to yourself, people. That's what we're not dealing with anymore. Because it wasn't accessible back then. Now, we had guns back in the day. But we used them for hunting. 30-06, 30-30, you know what I'm saying? A nice rifle. You know, we're going hunting. 22, hit some rabbits, take down a deer, some birds, just whatever. But it was never as a consequence of my action. Someone beat my ass, now I got to go kill him. Because if you came up during my era, oh yeah, to kill something, that was easy. We all hunted. We all knew what it meant to sit there and fire that rifle and hit a target and goddamn see that motherfucker flip, do a cartwheel, or lay down. Especially if you hit a deer for some distance, now you gotta go trek, walk, and pull that motherfucker home. Because we ain't have ATVs and shit to move around. No, you had to go goddamn man up and go grab that son of a bitch. You know what I mean? Shit. Drag that motherfucker to the motherfucking campsite. Slit his throat. Bleed him. Gut him. Hang him up by his hoofs. Take all them innards out. Must packs. And get that motherfucker ready for the ride. And the ride home. Quarter that bitch out. Have it ready to go. That's Southern living. Now, I don't know how y'all do it in New York. I don't know how y'all do it in California but in Mississippi, that's how I used to get on. So to pull a trigger and to lay something down was easy. We learned to take life a long time ago. But you also learn the responsibility of not just shooting and killing up everything. You learn not to point a gun at people for no reason. And if you do point a gun at a motherfucker, you better pull the trigger. You see? Because if you didn't grow up hunting, then, you would freeze up when it comes to pulling that motherfucker. You never heard the sound. You never had the recoil. You've never seen something die. So imagine the impact of that when you sit there and you pull the trigger and you just firing off arbitrarily and you just hoping to hit something, and just so happen the consequence, a bullet ricochets and hits a child. Because you have no home training. You have no field training. You have no idea of how to use this tool of destruction. That's all a gun is. It's a tool of destruction, not a tool of protection. It's a tool to terminate life. That's its intent. They didn't make guns with the intention of wounding or maiming you. They make guns with the intent to end or terminate life. Because none of you are marksmen. None of you are in a situation where, let me shoot him in his leg. Pep. Get the fuck out of here. Communities need builders more than they need people trying to prove how tough they are. You don't have to become dangerous to become powerful. Power is having control over yourself. Power is having options. Power is being able to walk into a room and create an opportunity. Power is providing. Power is educating yourself. Power is building something that outlives you. Anybody can destroy. It takes intelligence, patience, and discipline to build. Remember that, man. Remember that. And also, who are we trying to impress? Who are we trying to impress? Because you can't sit there and put that on me in terms of, it's in the music. These kids listen to their music. The music made them do it. Yeah, okay. Why are we not facing this in any other community? Because every other community has crime, just like we have crime. We just don't see it, and we don't talk about it because we're not in that community. And we're not going to go back down the road of the sway or the power of music and its influence. We got to get back into community. We got to get back into raising our kids. We got to get back into community raising our kids. Why are so many people performing toughness for audiences who aren't paying their bills? You have people risking their freedom, their careers, their families, their business, their reputations, all because somebody challenged their image. Ego can become expensive. You don't have to respond to every insult. Social media arguments can become real-world consequences. Stop allowing strangers to control your emotions. Y'all don't know these motherfuckers that's talking to y'all over the internet. Y'all don't even know the stars or the quote-unquote rappers that y'all are looking up. Y'all don't know them personally. Like I said, I different influences that had sway over my life. My mother, my grandfather, my grandmother, my aunts, my uncles, people that I looked up to in my life as I was growing up. I'm telling you, man, I could sit there and watch Scarface. I watch all the kind of movies. That was entertainment. I ain't believe nothing coming off the television. Believe half of what you hear, none of what you see. Because your eyes can lie to you. Your eyes can deceive you. And you can see what you want to believe you see. You think you see it. Oh, yeah. Your brain will sit there and convince you. Oh, yeah, you saw that shit. Yeah. Your children need you more than the streets need your reputation. The streets don't need you, period. The streets, I'm telling you, it's like the internet. It has not been defeated. Your business needs your attention more than an argument does. Your future deserves protection. And I'm not on here trying to tell folks what to do. I don't give a damn how you live your life as a grown man, grown woman. That's your business. That's your business. But don't move around here acting as though you Billy Badass when you came up as motherfucking Pee Wee Herman or goddamn, you wasn't that. And yes, over time, people do change. People do. But you were not that. So why pretend to be something that you were not? What does gangster really mean anyway? Let's redefine it this morning. Redefine, not define. Let's redefine it this morning. If we insist on using the word, let's attach something productive to it. Real gangsters pay bills. Real gangsters, yeah, they raise their children. Real gangsters keep commitments. Real gangsters protects family. Real gangsters build business, create jobs, own property, control their emotions, learn from their mistakes, walks away from unnecessary conflict, helps the next generation, keeps their word, takes accountability, and doesn't need applause to do the right thing at all. Being feared is temporary. Being respected for your integrity lasts. Yeah. Something to think about. I'm going to get out of here. I mean, there's a lot more to talk about. We'll probably pick this back up during industry talk. Because if I keep going, I'll be here all day long. Talk about this mentality and this gangster image that people are portraying. Like, that's the way to live your life. But I'm not here to tell you what to do, what not to do, how to live, why to live. None of that. None of the above. But if we don't have a shift, if we don't put ourselves in a situation to where we're tendering what's coming behind us, yeah, it's going to be a very hard road for generations to come, because our educational criteria is moving in the opposite direction. Our community and unification standards are moving in an opposite direction. The fact of us having the wherewithal and care about community is moving in the opposite direction, and we need to begin to steer that ship in the right direction. As I say, right the ship. Here's what I want everyone to leave with this morning. You don't have to frighten people to be respected. You don't have to fight everybody to prove you're strong. You don't, and granted, I'm not saying that you're not going to come across impasses or roadblocks in your life where you don't have to be that person, because you are. But every day of your life, 24/7, you on motherfucking hard. You on G-Block, nigga, all day? And you woke up in a motherfucking king-size bed with nice soft pillows. But you want to sit there and risk your life to go sit in a 6x9 with funky feet, balls, and stinking asses. I love freedom. Control your emotions, protect your freedom, protect your family, protect your opportunities, protect your future. Because the toughest person isn't always the one willing to fight. Sometimes it's the one who has every reason to react, looks at everything they have to lose, and says, nah, I'm bigger than that, bro. I'm bigger than that. Yeah, that's growth. That's discipline. That's power. So I'm going to leave you with this. Proverbs 16:32. He that is slow to anger is better than the mighty, and he that ruleth his spirit than he that taketh the city. Control yourself, build your future, lead your family, strengthen your community, and become something that the next generation can actually follow. Have an incredible morning. Be great today, people. Y'all know that this is Primetime Rise and Grind. Lock us in, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. And I thank you for tuning in. And as always, beautiful people, y'all know with me, it's about health, wealth, wellness. Stay there. Stop what you're doing right now and go subscribe to Boss Talk Podcast 101 Primetime on YouTube, all social media platforms. Boss Talk Podcast 101 Primetime. Like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to make sure you tap in. Right now, over 72,000 subscribers and well over 11 million views and watch time hours. So make sure that you continue to support, like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend, and keep tapping in with us because we're going to keep on bringing you this hot content every day and in every way. It's your main man, Big G. And make sure, like I said, stop what you're doing right now and tap in. Like, share, subscribe. Boss Talk Podcast 101 Primetime.